All right, I do believe we are ready for our Splatoon 3 side order run by pickpig, so take it away.
Hey, I'm Pick. I'm a Splatoon 3 speedrunner and competitive player. I'm joined by Adept on comms.
Hello. Yeah, I'm Adept. I'm excited to be here. Thank you for having me on Pick. I'll start by prefacing that, but I'll let you kind of take it from here.
You'll notice that as soon as I go into side order here, I'm going to be straight into the run. It's normally when you do a run, you'd have to go through like the lobby area and then go to the elevator. But since this is a save seed run, I've saved it on the first floor, so it'll put me straight into the run as soon as I go to side order. So I'll do that now. You can time whenever. This category doesn't have an RTA, so just like start time whenever, I guess.
Yeah, this is setting a strong precedent for how to RTA time an IGT category, as it's the first time that it's relevant.
Do we want a soft countdown just to get going?
Sure, I guess we'll do it like as I go into the first level, I guess. So I guess in 3, 2, 1, let's go.
Good execution.
Good luck.
So the way save seed works is like all of the RNG in the game is determined as soon as you enter the elevator at the start. So everything you do from that point is determinate. I don't know if like Adept wants to explain that more, because
you might have noticed we did not enter through the elevator. We entered through the lobby. So yeah, there is no randomness in this run, which is it's just kind of interesting for a roguelite. So everything we do in terms of certain floor rerolls, certain levels that we play, and more importantly, as we're about to see, certain save and suspends that are taken during the run are going to have a predictable outcome on the game, and we'll be able to control the levels we get, the specific color chips that we get that power up the charger in all of its different capacities. And this is sort of something we found week 1 when I was trying to figure out a way to have better resets for random seed by always getting 2 quick charge chips on floor 1. That's kind of the crutch for a charger, is being able to reduce the long wind-up time on its full charge and do massive damage that way, because at a max quick charge, you're basically doing tap shots or full charges. So being able to get to that state really quickly is pretty important. And I don't remember what floor you get to it on this run, but it's fast.
I get it on floor 6, I think.
Okay, that's 3 floors faster than me.
In a random seed run, you'd be happy to get it by like floor 11 is like fine.
Floor 11 is fine. Floor 15 at probably not the highest level is the absolute worst you could take, but yeah, for safe seed you need it before floor 9. I did not know you could shoot through tops. Interesting.
Yeah, I discovered that by accident one time.
It's cool.
Yeah,
so
I have my route on a spreadsheet on my left monitor.
Yeah, that's how we route this game, is we use spreadsheets.
Yeah, if I make a single like mistake in my routing, all of the options are completely different, and I'd have to just wing it. So I'm making very sure not to do that.
Yeah, you're a great random seed runner, so I'm sure you can make that work at least a lot better than me.
I've done it a few times.
Yeah. So I guess we could kind of explain like the general structure of side order while we're kind of going through the motions here of getting our early floor done, getting our build together. But side order is a 34 tower. As we see here, we have 3 different level options on each of the floors. And we're going to be seeing 2 of the 5 different level criteria come into play. The chase levels, which is what we're playing now, where our goal is to splat these fish on wheels. And the portal levels, which we'll see in a little bit, which the objective there is to destroy all of the enemy spawner portals as quickly as possible. The other levels, you could do that level in 2 seconds.
I have never done a 2 before. That was clean. That was so clean.
Yeah, so top two players of Save Seat reacting to a 2 in Bullfish. Here, just manipulating some vending machine content.
Because for some reason, save and suspending before you enter a vending machine level is the same as going into the vending machine level and then re-rolling it.
Yeah, but that cost re-rolling it costs you money. Save and suspending only costs you your real life time, which doesn't matter for an IGT category. Yeah, we won't see the other 3 level types as I was saying because they're all really tedious, or they're
May as well
8-ball,
explain
and
what they
Charger
are.
does not like 8-ball.
Yeah, so there's the other 3 are 8-ball, which is you have to get some number of 8-balls into some number of goals, which is in like random seed is fine, but in set seeds they're kind of slow. So we don't do those. And then the other 2, which you basically never want to take in any run, are zones where you like have to control an area with your ink for like a set amount of time. I think the fastest ones are like 40 seconds. And then there's tower, which is you have to shoot a tower all the way to the goal, and it goes along the set track. And I think the fastest one of those is the special effect.
Yeah, that's a good user choice trick. So this, this is a portal level. It's triangular, so it also gives us good money. The main threshold in this category is keeping your money above 500, as that is the requirement to get random vending machine events to show up. Sometimes we dip below it to take certain levels with good color chips. But
yeah, I think when I routed this, I didn't know that you needed to have 500 to get vending machines, so sometimes dip under it, but yeah.
Yeah. Your route has definitely stayed much more consistent than mine. I think at this point I have routed 3 to 4 different seeds. But you kind of have a dream scenario here of a very fast seed without a lot of overhead in RNG manipulation, which I wish I had.
Yeah, so in my run I do a total of, I think, like 7 save and suspends, around there, at least less than 10.
Yes.
Depths, 158, 159.
My 159, the current world record, has a total of 69 save and suspends in it, but I decided to save my sanity to turn on a free vending machine reroll, which removes 43 save and suspends from the run, so significantly more than everybody except for my 219.
Just making sure I don't fumble here.
Yeah,
Reroll,
so reroll, save and suspend. Yeah. But yeah, NG plus save seed really is a routing category, and so I like to look at this set of categories, even maybe just NG plus as a whole, more as a score attack, where the goal is to get sort of a high score in the time that you get, rather than maybe a speed run not being necessarily the most accurate term. I don't know if you'd agree with that pick.
No, I 100% agree with that. It's like moved on from a speedrun and become just like...
Yeah, it was a
Just pushing
speedrun
the
until I
boundaries,
found
it's fine.
RNG manipulation.
Yeah. I mean, even like a week after you found RNG manipulation, it was like still a speedrun. And then once it like started becoming more and more optimized, with the amount of routing that we had to do beforehand, it's like most of this category is the tens of hours that you spend getting a good route before you actually run it.
And then micro-optimizing all of your levels like that Pursuit Fish, where you just have crazy snap speed, so you're able to manip those fish into perfect pathing.
So we're on the first boss floor now. This is one of only 2 points of RNG in the run. I'd say this one's probably the larger point of RNG.
Yep.
We can probably pause here to like explain this boss. So this boss, it has 9 layers, but you'll see that only 3 of them are lit up. You only need to kill those 3 layers to be the boss. And you see the weak points. There's one, there's one, there's one. They spawn at random points. This is a decent spawn actually. There's like 2 facing forwards and then 1 over there. That's fine. But sometimes you'll get it where like they're all facing away from you, and it's just, what do you do? It's just, you basically just reset the run.
Yeah, layer 6
right.
rotates left as well, so I like this for you a lot.
They always rotate the same way. It's like right, left, and right.
I always forget which way those are.
Strat here is bottom, middle, top, I want to say.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
I think you go bottom, middle, wait for the spin and take the top.
Yeah. Oh, not close enough. Spin? Okay. That's
Yeah, the rotator will also spin at a basically random client.
Okay.
That was really clean.
Yes!
Having a 40% range boost definitely helps. Ah, you got it.
Okay, that wasn't great, but that's fine.
It's better than not getting the damage boost strat, which damage boosting off of the enemies launches you up in the air, and since the key spawns high enough where you can't jump and grab it, that saves, I think it's a 1.5 seconds when done optimally. That was probably closer to a second.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Do I have a moment to mention our incentives?
Go ahead, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I just want to remind people that we have the CS2 extra show match incentive, the Zoomer match there. We're still only needing $245 for that, but that only needs to be met by the end of the CS2 show match. So you still have time, but make sure to get your donations in for that. And of course, every donation that goes towards that incentive automatically goes towards the milestone to let us see Celeste 64. We're still about $400 away from that, so a bit more of a stretch. Again, that needs to be met by the end of this Counter-Strike 2 show match. So you have time, but I want to preface it. You don't have a ton of time. You don't have all day. We need to see donations now. I want to see people. I want to see that counter start moving up. I need to see some movement. I want to read donos. I want to read stupid messages. Let's get it done, guys. Let's get a little movement here.
Yeah, so this part of the run is probably the most fun part, because you're just basically just playing fish levels with a broken gun, so you can just like laser all of them in one go, and there's some levels where it's possible.
You're gonna see a lot of level times of 1 to 2 seconds.
It's maybe even 0.
You might even see a 0 here or there.
The 0 here is like, I have 0'd this, is kind of frame perfect.
I also have 0'd this, but I use hacks.
Okay, hold on. Oh, that's good. Come on.
That was pretty good.
Show me 0.
I didn't even need the hacks.
Let's go.
Wow.
Nice 0.
It's like you didn't even play the level.
Unfortunately, it doesn't count the same as vending machines, which are a 0.00 to the final time. That was probably like a 0.95 or something. Yeah, it was probably a couple frames away from a 1.
I timed one of the 0s I've done. It was literally 1 frame away from 1 second. So that's like what?
So unfortunately, the game still tracks the parts of a second behind the scenes and just doesn't show them to us.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I would have like a 150. And we would have broken 2 minutes a long time ago if that were the case. But yeah, Charger has a unique advantage in that it can start greeting for vending machines incredibly early in the run. And even when it's not taking a vending machine, it's playing the level incredibly quickly because you saw there on floor 13, and you're about to see here on floor 16, it goes pretty fast. It's almost like you never played the level.
I hit a 0 here in practice, but
yeah. Pick and I also do this level completely different ways.
That might have been a 0 again. Come on. Throw like a frame or 2 off, I don't know.
Again, I've 0'd there, but I used hacks. A lot of my 0s came at the cost of me just messing around with the game trying to find things. Because I've done a lot of mechanical things behind the scene when I'm not taking the world record from pick. Floor 17.
That was good. That was really good.
You would think that level is hard because there's 4 fish there instead of 3, but not when you do that.
Just means you can't 0 it, that's all.
Yeah, it just means you can't 0 it, because most of the time in the 0 is waiting for the shots to hit their targets.
Yeah. Rather
than actually getting your shots off.
Oh, most of it's like waiting for the last fish to actually, like, waiting after the last fish dies for the level to actually finish.
Here it's a double.
It's a by here. Yeah.
Yeah, the double roll down. Could be prefaced with save and suspends there, but sort of one of the quirks in this category is if you're changing especially later floor routing, you have to play all of your earlier floors to get back to that spot. It's not like you can just create a save state magically on floor 18 and just had your first 17 floors on. So as you're routing these later floors, you play your early ones a lot. Yeah. I think you might have homed onto a couple of enemies there,
Yeah.
which is kind of the downside of homing shots, is you can't control what it homes onto. It'd be nice if it homed onto the actual objectives that we had to get every time, but that's not how that goes.
Right, second boss here. For most weapons, this boss is like the worst thing in the world because you don't have range and just whenever you hit it, it runs away from you.
Yeah.
But with charge, that's not really a problem because we actually have range and it should just get deleted.
We have range, we have homing shots, we have to hit its weak spot, which are these exposed black parts of its body. Charger with 2 homing shots chips makes that really easy. Because you just have to aim somewhat near those weak spots, and it'll take care of it for you. In this key, you can grab without an armor break. Thank you, Elusive Bounder. And now we're
I
on
nearly
to
did that the wrong way around.
Yeah, we're on to the
I
last
nearly
10 floors.
rerolled and then bending.
Oh.
Instead of
Yeah,
bending and
order
then
of
rerolling.
operations is pretty important in this
Yep.
category, as you might expect. But yeah, we're on to the last 10 floors, which means we have, again, a different set of levels compared to before. And we're just going to be aiming for, I think, the 4 fish levels. You don't play all of them, do
3.
you? You only play
I
3
do
of the
3 of
fish
them.
levels, and you get the rest in vending machines.
One time divided.
But at this point, the fish levels are just so much better than everything else, and this is where you can really start to see those levels, why we take them. Because the stages themselves are going to get a lot more complex. You can see there's just a lot more elements on this map. So for a weapon without range, having to traverse that takes a lot longer. But again, this is Charger. We don't have to do that. And then the rest of it is just taking vending machines, because again, there's no in-game time there.
There's what, like one good portal level in this like set of 10 levels.
If that, I couldn't even tell you what it was. It's probably bounce
It's bounce
pad.
pad. Yeah,
Yeah.
just like a 3.
Yeah, bounce pad's okay with the right build, and assuming main saver. So you kind of have to, when you're routing this, you kind of have to do a little bit of planning in case you don't see a vending machine on floor 29. You might want to save the 1 hard chase level.
Yeah.
As on floors 9, 19, and 29, the game can only give you hard or rigorous difficulty levels. But not gonna be a problem here. You get a vending machine.
Yeah, so there's guaranteed vendings on what was like 5, 11, 15, 21, and 25, right?
Yep. And then the other floors, there's just a small chance of them appearing.
As long as you have over 500 membucks.
Right.
Yeah.
But going below it to grab a 45% distant damage increase, pretty good. I definitely don't mind. That's going to make the final boss a lot easier, which we'll see that once we get to Smallest on floor 30.
Oh, rotations changed. That's why it's taking longer to save this.
Oh, yes.
Multiplayer rotations.
Yeah, this is what happens when you play this game, because every 2 hours the multiplayer map modes rotate over. And because to play Save Seed, you have to restore your cloud save from your Nintendo Switch Online cloud. You have to be connected to the internet to play this game, to play this category. And so you just get hit with news, and I believe you set your 206 during the Splatfest. You had to deal with the unskippable Splatfest news on every reset.
Mm-hmm.
Which I was also playing this category then. It was not fun. And
tragic.
That can be a lot worse though. If that top right one starts to move, you just kind of lose track of where it is. That can be particularly catastrophic. But no movement there, probably better than movement.
Yeah. Unless it runs down, it should probably be better.
I'd say that's like the first real mistake of this, which is super solid to get all the way to floor 26.
There are like a few fumbles in the first 10 levels, but
Yeah.
other than that, it's been pretty clean.
Yeah, sometimes that's all you can really ask for, is you got past your RNG checks no problem, which that's always a good sign. I struggle with that.
Fire a shot over there to hopefully aggro that fish downwards. Yeah, nice.
And you did. I think your second one caught up, but not your first one.
Yeah, I noticed that the first one didn't, so I fired another one.
Yeah, but no problem there. And then the runs, this is the last floor before the final boss, so it's just kind of all or nothing with the leftover membucks that we have fishing for this vending machine, and then we can buy 2 color chips here at the end, so might as well.
Yeah, I like tried saving, so spending loads and loads on this vending machine to try and get good chips, but it was like miles and miles away before I got anything decent. I was like, there's no point. I'll
Yeah,
just take
it's not
those
worth-
2. Which don't really
You
save
can
time,
do
but
smalls
they're
plenty
nice.
fast with the damage that you have.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's small. So this is probably the most mechanically complex part of the run. Mostly because there's not much else. You want to
Other
explain
than
this one, Pick?
Snapping between fish. Oh gosh. So there's 3 phases to Smolesk. In all of the phases, he spawns a number of like tentacles that you have to shoot and break before you can shoot Smolesk himself. So once the shield's down, then you splat them. But normally, when you're playing normally, you would wait after the phase, because obviously, why would you jump off the stage after beating a boss? Like, why would you do that? But we do that.
It saves a lot of time.
It does. Because for some reason it takes forever for Smolesk to respawn and respawn the portals. But if you jump off the stage, no, that's fine. He immediately respawns them. We do this.
It's like 7 to 8 seconds faster to die at the end of every phase.
So I don't know if we've explained how in-game time works, but what I'm doing right now is not counting. It only counts as soon as you drop out of the elevator.
We have not explained in-game time. I'm very
have
glad
not.
you just explained it.
Yeah, so this doesn't count, but as soon as this now counts.
Yeah. Yeah, so you can spend all the time you want strategizing. And actually, a recent discovery we found in Smolesk is that if you save and suspend at any point in the boss, yes, you'll have to redo the whole thing, but all of your in-game time up until you save and suspend doesn't count. So I use that to save a sub 2 after failing the Death of Use in phase 2.
It's built back, right? Yeah.
Yeah, this is actually the exact same pattern you got in your 206.
Oh, that's funny. Which is like...
There's 6
Not-
different locations that these portals can spawn. However, you got super trumps, so I believe you're gonna have to reset this.
Oh yeah, time's now, by the way. I forgot to say that.
Oops.
That's time. I haven't been tracking on the spreadsheet what my time is, so
I haven't been thinking about it. It's probably like a 210 something.
I think it's like a 220 something, like 224.
I don't think it
want
was
to say.
that slow. Now
Let's
we
see,
play this
let's
fun
see.
guessing game where we've
Let's see.
been going off of vibes.
Oh, 1 second
okay.
off. Come on. 1
Yeah,
second
you
off.
were closer.
That was a good run. I'm happy with that. There were like only a few mechanical mistakes in the first 10 levels. The rest of it was totally fine.
Yeah, can't complain much about 223 on a no reset.
All right.
Overall, yeah. Good
Any
RNG points.
final shout-outs?
Shout outs to the whole Splatoon speedrun community, especially Adept for like doing most of the science in this run. Like finding save seed to begin with is crazy, because I'll show you how we do it actually. Because if you don't have Nintendo Switch Online, you can't do save seed. You have to use the Nintendo Switch Online's backup save data, and every time you reset, you have to be very sure not to hit backup.
You have to be
'cause
very
it'll
careful
completely
not to
wipe your
hit
save.
backup save data.
You
I
have to hit
have
down
lost the seed this way.
You have to do this
But
every
it was
single
on
time you
day
reset.
1 of finding save seed,
Yeah.
in my defense.
Yeah.
Uh,
I'm
yeah.
lucky to have never done it before.
and you have a very good
Every single
route,
time
so
I
you would
did
probably be
very slowly.
distraught if you did it.
Yeah. And
Well, that was
also,
a very quick IGT run. It was actually
Yeah.
really interesting to see all the IGT strats.
yeah,
Seems-
it's like
Yeah.
it's crazy like what kind of manipulation we do with it.
Yeah, it's again, it's basically a high score run at this point. I don't look at it the same light as something like any percent, where you have to do a lot of on the fly thinking and really a lot of evaluation and game knowledge really comes into play there. Here, it's just you're time trialing these like 15 levels.
But I think that's everything. Thanks for having me. I'm gonna get back to revising for my exam.
Well, I wish you luck. Thank you for the run. It was quite enjoyable. A big
Thank you.
round of applause in chat for pickpig. I've never played Splatoon, but some of the shots that Pig was hitting were quite impressive, especially with the sniper.